Welcome back. This video will explain how to use filters and groups in the HearForm Pro scheduler. Filters and groups are incredibly helpful when it comes to using the HearForm Pro scheduler. Let's start by talking about filters. Under this tab right here, we have some options to filter out or display only a specific type of appointment. So simply by clicking a button like here, it's hiding everything except for my 3-month clean and checks. I can also show my counseling. I can then hide my 3-month clean and check, and I can pull in additional items if I want. So it really makes it very easy to display that information. Now that can be done on a week view or a month view as well. And again, it helps you to narrow things down. Now when you click clear filters, it may take a little while to bring them all back because there may be a lot of information to display. So it could take 5 or 10 seconds before you see your full calendar again. Now I'm showing this with four columns for clinicians over 2 days, but again it will work if I do it under week view. Let's just hide everything and go to week view for just a minute. And excuse me, that's month view, but it's the same principle. So again, I can just show my 3-month clean and checks, my counseling, my batteries, whatever it is that I want, and it will display that information on there. We'll go back to the day view here because I want to show you another way to filter. So for example, let me pull in all columns and let's display all 4 people over 1 day. So I want to show you another way that we can filter this. Right up here in the top area, simply by typing a word like John, it hides everything unless it has the word John somewhere in the appointment. That may be in the clinician name. It could be in the notes or the description. It could be in the appointment type and things like that. So notice in this case it brought up John as a first name, and then over here Anthony Johnson. So the word obviously John was in his last name. In the same way, let's clear this by hitting the X here or backspacing. I can also type in a keyword. Now if I just start typing DO, then it's going to show me all of Donna's appointments here because she has DO in her name. But if I go a little bit further and I type dog, I may sometimes have to even click a space. So if it doesn't seem to work for you, then finish it with a space, please. But notice in this case, I wanted to find a patient who was coming in because their dog chewed up their hearing aid. Well, it also happened to bring up a patient that says they're coming in with their seeing eye dog. So it's really helpful, though, to be able to search all of your appointments for a whole month and just pull up patients that match that criteria. So by all means, play around with the filters and see if that helps you to make better sense of your day. Another way that we're going to make better sense is using these buttons up here that we can set up, and they're called groups. So for example, as you've already seen, I may want to show just Duncan and Donna. I may want to show Duncan and Donna over 2 people over 3 days, for example. And this will allow me then to see those individuals, or if I wanted to show Virginia and Beth, just that simple, I can show Virginia and Beth because I took the time to set up a group. So let's look at setting up groups right here. You can set up at least 20 groups. If you need more than that, please contact support. But right now we have it set up for 1 through 10 easily. And again, please contact us if you need more than 10. We can go up to 40 at this point. So 10 groups will give you the ability to categorize your clinicians, for example, or your resources into individual groups where you can have all columns as the first group, for example, and then perhaps a city name like Morgantown, Chicago, or New York. You can put 1 or more clinicians together like Virginia and Beth, Duncan and Donna, or individually where I just work with Virginia and Duncan independently. So let's just look at Virginia and Beth here. What I can do is clear those items, and then simply by selecting them in the order I want them, it is unique that it's tied. The group is not tied alphanumerically in this case. It's in the group that you, the way that you order them here. So if I wanted a Duncan third, I can actually click or check that box and I would have it show up in this order. So I'm going to name that group right here. That's important so that you can find it easier. And in this case, I'm going to clear that and put it back the way it was. So Virginia, and then Elizabeth. And in this case, Elizabeth may not fit in my button, so I just shortened that to Beth. So you only have so much room to type on that button heading up there. So again, move from 1, tab to the next, setting up all your groups. When you've done that, you have some really nice groups, and you can show all the folks who should be in the Chicago office, the New York office, and they may be the same, but just clicking will change that. So groups will help you to take, especially if you're in a multiple office environment, to take a large group of clinicians and display only the information that might be necessary. Another way to do that is if you have both an audiology department, speech language pathology department, you could set up an SLP button here, an audiology button here, and show just the information for that individual. So again, play around with the groups, play around with the filters, and I think you'll find them to be very helpful.